Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents She's My Patient by Emily Hayes, narrated by Lois Ridge. Chapter 1. Annabelle's eyes snapped open at the sound of her alarm. She reached for the cell phone and swiped across the screen to stop the incessant ringing. Annabelle took a deep breath. "Don't jinx it, Anna. Today is just another day," she said to herself as she sprung out of bed. Though she tried to convince herself otherwise, today was not like any other day. She felt her heart thump against her chest. Annabelle shut her eyes and exhaled deeply. "Okay, don't get ahead of yourself." She made her way to the bathroom and wrapped her hand around the knob of a drawer, but she couldn't bring herself to open it. It wasn't so much what was in it that made her hesitate, but the results that would follow. There was a time when that drawer was filled with miscellaneous items, toiletries, and plenty of mini shampoo bottles Annabelle had collected on her travels. But those days were behind her. Now that her travel agency had taken off, she no longer traveled for business, unless it was an absolute necessity. It's not that she didn't enjoy that aspect of her job. It's a matter of priority, and Annabelle's had shifted. She had one goal in mind, and she needed to open the drawer if she wanted to know if she was one step closer to that goal or not. Annabelle was very used to succeeding at her goals, but this one had proven challenging so far. With a heavy hand, Annabelle pulled on the wooden knob. Boxes upon boxes of home pregnancy tests shuffled as she forcefully opened it. She grabbed 7 different boxes and proceeded to unbox them all. "All right, it's now or never," she said to herself. Annabelle's skin erupted into goosebumps as her skin made contact with the cold ceramic seat. She uncapped test after test and strategically peed on each of them. She laid them out neatly and grabbed her phone. Annabelle could feel her heart race as she set the timer. She set her phone down and stared at the tests. "That isn't going to make them work any faster," she groaned. She tore her eyes away from the 7 sticks laid neatly in front of her and paced the small expanse of her bathroom. Annabelle grabbed her phone. "Oh, why is time going so slow?" she whined. She tossed her phone on the counter and continued to pace. Something iridescent caught her eye. It was tucked under her laundry basket. "What is that?" she asked herself. Her brows furrowed as she neared the basket. She tugged on the orange material, and her heart sank. Annabelle opened the cabinet and threw the orange scrunchie into a box she had hidden under the bathroom sink. She reached for her phone. She exited the timer app and scrolled through her contact list. Her fingers moved rapidly over the screen of her phone. "Hey, I found your favorite scrunchie. I think that's everything. Let's rip this off like a Band-Aid and get it out of the way. Will you come over and pick up the rest of your stuff soon?" she typed out. Annabelle hit send. She got a response instantaneously. "Hey, sure. I'll stop by during my lunch break in a few hours, if that's all right with you," the text read. "That's totally fine. See you then," she replied. Annabelle put her phone away and resumed her position. She paced the bathroom and kept her eyes on the timer as she did. She watched the minutes pass and felt her heart race as the timer counted down from 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Annabelle shut her eyes. 2, 1. Her ears were filled with the sound of the timer going off. She reached out a hand and fumbled around the counter in search of a test. Annabelle took a deep breath and slowly cracked open one eye. Her eyes widened. She grabbed another test and it showed the same result. She felt something stir in the pit of her stomach. Her eyes scanned over the other tests, and she let out a scream as she bounced happily in her bathroom. There were 2 clear lines across all of her tests. Annabelle picked her phone up and dialed the first person she could think of sharing her news with. The call tone droned. "Pick up, pick up, pick up," she repeated excitedly. "Finally, we've been waiting. Tell us the news," she heard her mother breathe out quickly. "Guess," Annabelle replied. "Don't do this to me," her mother whined. "My little old heart can't take it." "I took 7 tests this time, and—" Annabelle began. "Spit it out, kiddo," she heard her father chime in. Annabelle laughed at their enthusiasm. "They were all positive," she yelled. She heard a chorus of screams through the speaker. Her phone buzzed with her mom's request to switch to video call. Annabelle tapped on the little green button and pulled the phone away from her ear, positioning it in front of her face. She was smiling from ear to ear, and when the video appeared on her screen, her parents' expression mirrored hers. "We're so happy for you, baby," her mother cooed. "Our baby is having a baby," her father chirped. "It hasn't sunk in yet," Annabelle admitted. "I can imagine," her mother responded. "I know how tough all the failed attempts have been for you, and you aren't getting any younger. I'm so happy for you. We both are, aren't we, darling?" "You're a strong one, kiddo. We're proud of you," her dad said softly. "Thanks, guys. I don't think I would have made it through the failed attempts without you two," Annabelle shared. "What's family for if not to help you through the tough times and celebrate the great moments, right?" her mother said. "Hey, that's a good one, Hillary. We should put that on a welcome mat or something," her father said as he turned to her mother. "You think so?" she questioned. "I'm still here, guys," Annabelle chuckled. "I'll leave you two to your home decor ideas. I wanted to share the news with you both before I did anything else, but I have to call the fertility clinic now and let them know that the procedure was a success this time," she explained. "All right, kiddo. Thanks for letting us be the first to know," her father said. "Of course, Dad. I'll keep you guys updated," Annabelle replied. "Bye, baby," her mother said as she waved. Annabelle waved back and hit the end call button. "I can't believe this," she breathed out. Annabelle's cheeks lifted as she dialed the clinic's number. She had practically memorized it by now. She placed the phone up to her ear. Her entire body was buzzing. She couldn't contain the excitement as the line rang. "Forest Vale Fertility Clinic, Rose speaking. How can I help you today?" the woman on the phone chirped. "Hello, Rose. It's Annabelle Lacey," she sang. "Anna, I've been expecting your call. You sound like you're in a good mood. I take it that you've got some good news for me?" Rose asked. "I peed on 7 different tests, and the results were all positive," Annabelle shared. "I'm glad to hear that, Anna. We all know how much you've wanted this," Rose said. "Thank you, Rose," Annabelle responded. "So what's next?" "Well, we've got to get you an appointment in the OB/GYN department. You'll need to get assigned to an obstetrician," Rose answered. "I've been doing some research, and I know I want Dr. Foster. She's the best, right?" Annabelle said. "Yeah, you and every other pregnant woman for miles around, sweetie. I can't promise you I'll get her, but I can try and ask if she's taking on any new patients," Rose offered. "I'm not seeing anyone else. I want the best for this baby," Annabelle said firmly. Rose chuckled. "I'll see what I can do, but I think you're going to have to take it up with whoever's in charge over there, Anna. You can be very persuasive at getting what you want." Annabelle rolled her eyes at the diplomatic response. "Let me call them and register you. I'll request Dr. Foster, and we will see what comes back," Rose said. "Thanks, Rose. I really appreciate it," Annabelle responded softly. "Anytime, Anna. Congratulations. I'll email you by the end of the day," Rose replied. "Sounds great," Annabelle replied. She tossed her phone on the bed and made her way to the kitchen. Everything's coming together, she thought to herself. Chapter 2. Lillian heard her phone vibrate in the cup holder. She glanced at the screen before making a turn into the hospital parking lot. 3 unread messages from Jen, the notification bubble read. She swiped the messages away as her eyes scanned the parking lot for a space. Her phone buzzed again. Yes! She cheered internally as she spotted a place. Lillian parked her car and unbuckled herself. She grabbed her phone and sat in her car as she went through the messages. Are you free tonight? The first text read. I can come over and cook dinner. Maybe I could even stay the night this time? Read the second. I make a mean breakfast spread. Lillian groaned as she read the third text. Lillian, are you there? Should I just drop by later? She rubbed her temples as she contemplated what to do with the string of messages Jen had sent her. Lillian glanced at the time on her dashboard and tucked the phone in her coat. I'll deal with this later, she thought to herself. Lillian grabbed the rest of her things and made her way to her office. She settled behind her desk when she heard a knock on the door. Come in, she called out as she sorted out the folders strewn across her desk. I come bearing the elixir of life, she heard a familiar voice say. Lillian looked up to see her assistant Lori standing by the door. Thank God for coffee, Lillian breathed out, her arms outstretched toward the cup of coffee Lori was clutching. She felt her phone vibrate in her coat and threw it in her drawer. Lori placed the mug on her desk. Someone's popular today, Lori said with her brows raised. Lillian's phone continued buzzing in the drawer. It's that girl I've been seeing, Lillian groaned. Jen? Lori questioned. That's the one. She's been pestering me about coming over and spending the night, Lillian explained. How horrible of her! She's no better than Lucifer himself, Lori chuckled. Ha ha, very funny. You're not the one she's trying to tie down, Lillian responded. Tie down? Lori repeated. Come on, boss. It's one night, not a marriage proposal. One night can easily turn into 2 nights, and 2 nights can mean an extra toothbrush. Lillian sighed. It's only been 4 weeks, and the deal was that we would keep it casual, she shared. 4 weeks? That's a record, Doc. So what are you gonna do? Lori asked. I can't just ghost her. You know me, I'm old school. I don't have time for a relationship or whatever it is she's looking for, and she deserves to know that. Lillian sighed. I'm going to have to cut her loose. Let her down gently. Mm-hmm, Lori hummed. What? Nothing, Doc, she replied, her eyebrows still raised. Spit it out, Lori, Lillian sighed. Would it be so bad if she spent the night? She asked. You could give the poor girl a chance. I'm not interested in a relationship or anything outside of the realm of casual. I've got enough on my plate with work as it is. I don't need something or someone else to stress me out, Lillian explained. Mm-hmm, Lori repeated. I didn't get where I am today by playing house, Lillian said. Mm-hmm, she hummed once more. I'll just send her a nice but honest text and be done with it, Lillian explained. Has that worked out for you in the past? Lori questioned. Well, based on past experiences, these situations often play out either way. 1, the woman I'm seeing appreciates my candor and thanks me for my honesty. Or 2, the message is not well received, and I've got a hell of a situation on my hands, she explained. For your sake, I hope it's the former instead of the latter, Lori chuckled. You and me both. But enough with my love life. What's on the agenda today? Lillian asked. Lori flipped through her clipboard. I'm glad you asked. Amanda Rothwell called. She's furious, and she's demanding to come in today. Why? She's barely made it past her due date. Tell her not to worry, she replied. That's the problem. She's not taking no for an answer. She said something about you giving her a date. I gave her an estimate. Lillian sighed. Babies don't follow a schedule. Just try explaining that to her and calm her down. Tell her there's no need to come in, she said as she shook her head. I'll try, but she sounded like she was out for blood. Lori chuckled. Natalie Bridgen is coming in for her 12 weeks checkup, and you've got 2 more patients, both on their 16 to 20-week scan, she said while she flipped through the pages. That's it? Lillian asked. Oh, I almost forgot. The fertility center called. They have a patient, 36-year-old successful IUI case, Lori replied. An Annabelle Lacey, she read out. She's requesting to have you as her obstetrician. Can you fit in another patient? Lillian pulled out her planner and looked at her schedule. Every day was marked red and filled with appointments. I can't. I'm up to my ears in pregnant women, she replied. I barely have a lunch hour as it is. I'll call and let them know, Lori said as she scribbled on the pages of her clipboard. Lori, for future reference, I won't be taking on new patients in the coming weeks, unless there are complications. Could you make a note of that and let the nursing staff know? Lillian stated firmly. Got it, Doc, Lori said. But don't leave the poor woman helpless. See if Dr. Bitzer can take her. And when people call requesting doctors, try and tell them that they'll get whatever obstetrician they're referred to. This isn't a restaurant. They can't pick and choose, Lillian retorted. Not a restaurant, Lori repeated as she jotted down the notes. All right. Anything else you need while I'm here? She asked. Not for now. Thank you, Lori, Lillian replied. At your service, Doc, Lori replied with a salute. Good luck with Jen. She shot Lillian a wink before backing towards the door. Don't remind me, Lillian groaned. Lori laughed and turned the knob. Is Dr. Foster in? A woman's voice carried through the halls. Oh, no, Lori breathed out as she closed the door. That sounds like Amanda Rothwell. An annoyed Amanda Rothwell, Lillian guessed. Right on the money, Doc, Lori replied. She took a deep breath. I did not sign up for this when I decided to go into this line of work. It is implied that dealing with hormonal women is a major part of the job description, Lillian chuckled. I guess I missed out on that fine print, Lori laughed. I know she's in there. I can see her schedule on the board behind you. They heard Amanda Rothwell screech through the door. Who knew working with hormonal women would be a hazard? Wish me luck. I'm going to see what I can do, Lori replied. Lillian chuckled. If it helps, she's 39 weeks pregnant. How is that going to help? Lori asked quizzically. She's about to pop. If you walk fast enough, she won't be able to catch you. Lillian laughed. Ha ha, you're hilarious, Lori replied flatly. Laugh all you want, but I'm the messenger. It's you she's really after, she smirked. Right. I'll try to prepare myself for the inevitable appointment with Amanda then, Lillian said. Good idea, Doc, Lori replied. She took a deep breath and turned the knob. Here goes nothing, Lillian heard her mutter as she exited her office. Lori, you know where Dr. Foster is, don't you? Lillian heard Amanda ask as Lori shut the door. Her phone buzzed once more. I've got my overnight bag ready to go, Jen texted. Lillian opened the text and saw a picture attached to it. She threw her folded arms over her desk and buried her head in them. This is going to be a long day, she groaned. She could hear the muffled exchange between Lori and Amanda in the hallway. Let's get one thing out of the way, she thought to herself as she lifted her head from her arms. Lillian swiped on the notification and started constructing the response she had so many times sent out in situations like these. "I'm sorry I haven't had time to reply. It's been a busy morning. Jen, I've had such a great time with you these past few weeks. You're a fantastic woman, really. And I can't deny, breakfast does sound tempting. But you know the deal we agreed on in the beginning. I just don't have time in my life for anything other than a casual relationship. You deserve someone who has normal hours and that can spend time with you. I can't give you that. I don't want to string you along and waste your time or give you any unrealistic expectations. I'm going to be honest with you. This is nothing more than a casual arrangement for me. It's been a great 4 weeks, but I think this is where it has to end. No hard feelings," she typed out. Lillian read over the text. "Fingers crossed this won't get messy," she breathed out as she hit the send button. The doorknob rattled, and Amanda stuck her head through the crack. "Hello, Dr. Foster," she said sheepishly. "You wore Lori down, I see," Lillian chuckled. Amanda smiled and nodded triumphantly. Lillian felt her phone buzz incessantly in her hand. "Have a seat," she said as she glanced at it momentarily. 8 unread messages from Jen, the notification read. "Oh, Lord, that's going to be fun to deal with later," she thought to herself as she turned her ringer off and tossed her phone in her desk drawer. "Now, what can I do for you today, Amanda?" Lillian asked. Chapter 3. Annabelle jumped at the forcefulness of the 2 raps on her door. "Let's get this over with," she thought to herself as she heard the 3rd knock. "Coming!" Annabelle shouted, while she wiped her hands on the back of her pants. She hastily shut the tap and walked briskly to open the door. Annabelle braced herself for the familiar face she was about to greet. "Hey," the woman said dryly. "Hi, Mel. Come on in," Annabelle said softly. "I'm not staying long. I just want to get my stuff and go," Mel quipped. "Okay, no problem. Let me just get your things. Make yourself comfortable. I'll be right back," Annabelle replied, before she made her way to the bathroom. "Okay," Mel replied as she wandered around the small apartment. "Nice new place you got here," Annabelle heard her say from the living room. "Thanks. I'm still settling in, so it's not where I want it to be," Annabelle replied. She got on her knees and pulled out the box of things she had kept hidden behind cleaning products under her sink. Her finger traced the corners of a frame, and her lips curved into a smile as she thought back to that moment frozen in time. It was her birthday, and Mel had planned a surprise party. She had been so busy trying to get her business off the ground that she hadn't noticed her then-girlfriend sneaking around. Annabelle had been moaning about wanting to go on a trip. Somewhere, anywhere. She loved her job, but she hadn't had a chance to enjoy the perks of owning a travel agency yet. And since she couldn't take vacation days or go away, Mel had planned a surprise party for her. The theme was a day in the Maldives. Their home was transformed into a tropical paradise, without the downside of finding sand in every crevice of your home for weeks on end. Mel had called one of their party planner friends and pulled a few strings. There was an enormous blow-up pool in their yard. Their living room was covered from floor to ceiling in tropical plants, and everyone had dressed, or underdressed, for the occasion. Mel even made sure there was a little bamboo hut that served fancy cocktails, equipped with its very own bartender. Annabelle remembered being caught off guard when she went home that day. Mel had lured her back to the house early under the pretense of a home emergency. When she arrived, she was taken aback by the rainforest in her living room and the sight of her loved ones jumping out and yelling, "Surprise!" It took her months to get the horrifying image of her father in Speedos out of her head, but she had an unforgettable time that day. Annabelle sighed at the picture. Mel had a broad grin plastered on her face as she smashed a piece of cake into Annabelle's face, and Annabelle had a look of disbelief on hers. "Anna?" she heard Mel call out. Annabelle shook the memory away and grabbed the box. "Sorry, I'm coming," she shouted. Annabelle got off the floor and walked to the living room to find Mel staring at the positive pregnancy test stick that Anna had pinned to her fridge. Annabelle cleared her throat. "Here are your things," she said. She placed the box on the kitchen counter and slid it over to Mel. "I guess congratulations are in order," Mel muttered. "Oh, God, I forgot that was there. But I was going to tell you." "You don't have to say anything, Mel," Annabelle sighed. "You must be over the moon." "Bravo, Anna," Mel said flatly as she clapped. "Looks like you got everything you wanted, as usual. Tell me, was it worth it?" she questioned. "Come on, Mel. Don't be like this," Annabelle pleaded. "You're the one that made your decision." "You left me," she said softly. "You didn't really give me a choice, did you?" Mel barked. Annabelle rubbed her temples. "We've gone through this before. We both changed over time. We wanted different things. It would never have worked out between us." "You mean you wanted something else?" Mel quipped. "Don't you dare put this on me. Our relationship was a mess," Annabelle said firmly. "We had a good thing going, and then you had to go and mess things up for us," Mel replied. 5 years. Gone just like that," she whispered. "I didn't mean for things to end the way they did." Annabelle reached out to console the heartbroken woman in her kitchen. Mel flinched at her touch. "Weren't we happy? Wasn't I enough for you, Anna?" she asked softly. "When we first started dating, you told me you never wanted kids. We built a life together, and you destroyed all of that for what? A baby?" Mel quipped. "I never said that," Annabelle replied. "Really? Because you literally woke up one day and wanted kids," she sneered. "I was always honest with you. I told you that I didn't want children right then, but I did in the future. You heard what you wanted to hear. Don't lie and tell me otherwise. You knew all of this. I never hid it from you," Annabelle answered. "The baby fever kicked in and you felt your body clock ticking. You chose that over us," Mel scoffed. "People change, Mel. They grow. It wouldn't have worked out for us. I want to be with someone who is open to grow and develop with me. I told you from the get-go that children would be on the cards for me someday. It was your choice to pretend like I never wanted kids," Annabelle explained. Mel shook her head and scoffed. "Well, is it everything you imagined?" "It wasn't an easy road to get here, Mel. But if you're asking me if I'm happy about this, then yes, I'm beyond happy," Annabelle replied. Mel pulled the box of her belongings towards her. Annabelle watched as her eyes scanned through the contents of the box. Her eyes settled on the picture of them at Annabelle's birthday, the same one she had just been staring at earlier. Mel's lips curled slightly. It almost resembled a small smile, but it vanished just as quickly as it appeared. Her face crumpled. "I would have given you the world, Anna. I loved you with everything I had," she said. "I know you did. And I loved you, too. That's why all of this has been so hard for me," Annabelle shared. "Clearly," Mel responded sarcastically. Annabelle folded her arms across her chest. "What does that mean?" she asked. "I heard your company's doing great, and you seem to be settling into your little home just fine. Now this? You don't seem to be having it hard at all," Mel spat. "You think it's been easy for me? 5 years of my life was destroyed too, Mel. You weren't the only one in that relationship. I had to go through the breakup too. On top of that, this whole IUI thing has been a nightmare. Do you—
Sample complete. Ready to continue?